Welcome to the Encore Audio Archives YouTube channel. I'm Taper Dave, and this is my channel. I've uploaded hundreds of talks here that I've recorded at meetings in West LA, and I've also recorded conventions starting in 2013. I've got a bunch of those up. And Walt and Mary Murray, the original owners of Encore Audio Archives, started the company in the 80s, and Walt recorded Joe and Charlie's and a bunch of stuff down in Vista, California. My sobriety date is June 20th of 1994. I hope you find something you like, so please like and subscribe to my channel and comment down below. If you want to hear something that I don't have or that you don't see, I'll see that I get it. Anyways, take care and have a great day if you want to.
All right, I'd like to just quickly thank all of you for coming. This is a real honor and a treat, and I'd like to thank everyone who's helping out, reading, checking people in. You know, the whole bit, it's a real honor to do this. At this point, I'd like to introduce our microphone carriers. We've got three of them. We've got Ryan, who's around. That's Ryan. Okay, we've got Dave. All right, and Jeff. They will be holding onto the microphones, and I have been, the experience of this meeting was drilled into me, and I've told these guys they are not allowed to let go of the microphones. Okay? Remember, the group comes first, okay? So here's the format of the meeting. My co-chair, Cliff, will be drawing names out of this is a hat, and those who wish to share. If you're a long-timer and you didn't fill out one of the forms and you wish to share, you can make your way over to Brooks over there and fill out one of these, and hopefully you're back here before the meeting's over and we'll get you to share. We have a list of questions that I will read, and we ask each person who shares to speak on one of these questions. You'll have 2 minutes to share. That's right, only 2 minutes. And when your time is up, Corey has been so gracious to bring us the timer from the Gong Show. Okay, so when you hear the bell, please finish your sentence. All right, so here we're going to practice, because when he hits it, you clap. So 2 minutes is up. Okay, so no excuses. All right. I'm going to read the questions. There's 5 questions. The first one is, what are you most appreciative of in your sobriety? The second one is, what is the one thing you would advise the newcomer? 3, daily, what do you do to maintain and enhance your sobriety? 4, what keeps AA fresh, vital, and alive for you? And 5, what is the biggest challenge for you today? And there should be some copies of the questions at the tables. But again, every once in a while, I'll reread them. All right, so let's get started.
This is a hat. Band member from Depot wore this. Okay, I have Ken in from Mar Vista, number of years of sobriety, 35.
Didn't make you real alcoholic. Thank you. My sobriety date is August 28th, 1980, so today is my birthday. But my sponsor, Dave B., Hawaiian Shirt Dave, put together this incredible party. So please help yourself to the goodies table over there. I am totally overwhelmed, regularly, and humbled by the power that my higher power has come up with every time I have had the courage to turn some part of my life over to Him. I didn't believe in a higher power when I got here. I didn't need one. I didn't want one. But they told me if I didn't get one, I was going to die. I believed it. They took me through the steps, and higher power came out the other end. I am totally grateful for this program. It's keeping me alive. Thank you.
Okay, Karen C. Torrance, years of sobriety, 25. Okay, Butcher Joe from Julian, California, years of sobriety, 42.
Keep going. Here he comes.
Joe, grateful alcoholic. You know, what I'm most appreciative of is my wife of 51 years. She left me when I got to the program, or after let's see. She left me before I got to the program. And after a year or so, we got back together, and she's my strength today. I'm missing a leg and a toe and a finger and a thumb. And she takes care of me. So I guess I'm most grateful to Alcoholics Anonymous to giving me the courage to stay sober so I could have my wife back. Thank you.
Yeah, I'd like to add that when you're speaking, try to get as close to the mic as you can so we can hear you. We have a lot of friends in this room. Dave M. Sapphire Beach Group, years of sobriety, 32.
Stick to the format here. What is the biggest challenge for you today? After 32 years, I would say keeping this thing fresh and alive. I don't know everything. I attend meetings almost regularly, at least 5 days a week. And Will Leader's my sponsor. He's a great sponsor, and I just thank God so much for allowing me to go through the things I had to go through in order to stay around, and it's been a real blessing to be here this long. Thank you.
Dave.
Ray S. Torrance, years of sobriety, 36.
Sober this morning through God's grace and His fellowship of Alcoholics Anonymous. My home group is a Fourth Dimension group in Torrance on Monday nights, 12 and 12. What I do today to stay sober one day at a time is I thank my higher power each and every day that I have another day of breath, so I can show up at these meetings on a regular basis.
Nil until we let go absolutely. Remember that we deal with alcohol, cunning, baffling, and powerful. Without help, it is too much for you. But there is one who has all power. That one is God. You must find him now. Half measures will avail you nothing. You stand at the turning point. Throw yourself under his protection and care with complete abandon. Now we think you can take it. Here are the steps we took, which are suggested as a program of recovery. Admitted we were powerless over alcohol, that our lives had become unmanageable. 2, came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. 3, made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care and direction of God as we understood him. 4, made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. 5, admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. 6, we're entirely ready to have. We're entirely willing that God remove all these defects of character. 7, humbly, on our knees, ask him to remove our shortcomings, holding nothing back. 8, made a list of all persons we had harmed and became willing to make complete amends to them all. 9, made direct amends to such people wherever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. 10, continued to take personal inventory, and when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. 11, sought through prayer and meditation to improve our contact with God, praying only for knowledge of his will for us and the power to carry that out. 12, having had a spiritual experience as a result of this course of action, we tried to carry this message to others, especially alcoholics, and to practice these principles in all of our affairs. You may exclaim, what an order, I can't go through with it. Do not be discouraged. No one among us has been able to maintain anything like perfect adherence to these principles. We are not saints. The point is that we are willing to grow along spiritual lines. The principles we have set down are guides to progress. We claim spiritual progress rather than spiritual perfection. Our description of the alcoholic, the chapter 2 of the agnostic, and our personal ventures before and after have been designed to sell you 3 pertinent ideas. A, that you are alcoholic and cannot manage your own life. B, that probably no human power can relieve your alcoholism. And C, that God can and will. If you are not convinced on this vital issue, you ought to reread the book to this point or else throw it away.
Linda T. will now read We Are 10,000, March 19.
I'm Linda, I'm alcoholic. Now we are 10,000, March of 1944. When this book appeared in April 1939, there was approximately 100 AA members. The work had then been in existence for 4 years, over 4 years. It had been satisfactorily demonstrated that at least 2 out of 3 alcoholics who wished to get well could apparently do so with notwithstanding the fact that their chance of recovery upon any other medical or spiritual basis had been almost nil, a small percentage at best. Through no adequate census has been taken, it is probable that 90% of active AA members are now employed. Most of them reestablish themselves economically with no other help than we give each other. We believe we have demonstrated that when an individual commences to think straight and elects a sound spiritual basis for his life, he will presently find a way to maintain himself. The spiritual principle, which looks to many people like threadbare rationalization, seems to be practically proven by our employment record. The simple, authentic arithmetic of the situation tells the story. Thank you.
And I've asked Doug to read the 12 traditions.
Good evening, family. Doug, alcoholic. And these are your 12 traditions. 1, our common welfare should come first. Personal recovery depends upon AA unity. 2, for our group purpose, there is but one ultimate authority, a loving God as he may express himself in our group conscience. Our leaders are but trusted servants, they do not govern. 3, the only requirement for AA membership is a desire to stop drinking. 4, each group should be autonomous except in matters affecting other groups or AA as a whole. 5, each group has but one primary purpose, to carry its message to the alcoholic who still suffers. 6, in AA group, I never endorse, finance, or lend the AA name to any related facility or outside enterprise. These problems of money, property, and prestige divert us from our primary purpose. 7, every AA group ought to be fully self-supporting and declining outside contributions. 8, Alcoholics Anonymous should remain forever non-professional, but our service centers may employ special workers. 9, AA as such are never be organized, but we may create several boards or committees directly responsible to those they serve. 10, Alcoholics Anonymous have no opinion on outside issues. Hence, the AA name might never be drawn in the public controversy. 11, our public relations policy is based on attraction rather than promotion. We need to always maintain personal anonymity at the level of press, radio, and films. 12, anonymity is the spiritual foundation of all our traditions, ever remind us to place principles before personality.
Thanks, Doug. I believe we have a brief commercial here. There's a gentleman here that is going to come up and tell you about some exciting things that we've just been made aware of.
I'm David Lester, I'm an alcoholic. First meeting was in 1983, first sobriety was 1989. I drank again in 2002, and July 19th of 2004 I got sober again. There were some consequences, and so I got a vacation to one of our state's finer penal institutions. And I'm a real alcoholic, and I had time on my hands, and so I studied everything I could get my hands on with Alcoholics Anonymous, particularly our history. And so when I came home, I came across a book, and Dr. Bob and Sister Ignatia, it says in our big book, work with 5,000 alcoholics. And I read this book about Sister Ignatius, and one of my holy grails was the medallion that she used to give out. And so there's only 5,000 that her and Dr. Bob ministered to, and I started doing research, and I actually came across the guy, and I told him my holy grail was to find one of these medallions, and he says, well, I actually happen to have one. And I said, what do you need? And so he sent it to me. And so this is, depending on his history, one of the first chips that were given out in Alcoholics Anonymous. This medallion left Sister Ignatius' hands and was given to one of her patients. Now that patient met her future husband while in treatment. So that tells a story, right? And so it is more by default than by design. I ended up with the archives that are upstairs, and I love our history. And for every society that fails, there's one condition present. We forgot where we came from. And so it is an honor and a privilege to bring the archives here to share with you, particularly the long-timers, and come up and see us. That's my commercial.
Thank you. All right, I'd like to just quickly thank all of you for coming. This is a real honor and a treat, and I'd like to thank everyone who's helping out, reading, checking people in, you know, the whole bit. It's a real honor to do this. At this point, I'd like to introduce our microphone carriers. We've got 3 of them. We've got Ryan, who's around. That's Ryan. Okay, we've got Dave. All right, and Jeff. They will be holding onto the microphones, and I have been, the experience of this meeting was drilled into me, and I've told these guys they are not allowed to let go of the microphones. Okay? Remember, the group comes first, okay? So here's the format of the meeting. My co-chair, Cliff, will be drawing names out of this is a hat, those who wish to share. If you're a long-timer and you didn't fill out one of the forms and you wish to share, you can make your way over to Brooks over there and fill out one of these, and hopefully you're back here before the meeting's over and we'll get you to share. We have a list of questions that I will read, and we ask each person who shares to speak on one of these questions. You'll have 2 minutes to share. That's right, only 2 minutes. And when your time is up, Corey has been so gracious to bring us the timer from the Gong Show. Okay, so when you hear the bell, please finish your sentence. All right, so here we're going to practice, because when he hits it, you clap. So 2 minutes is up. Okay, so no excuses. All right. I'm going to read the questions. There's 5 questions. The first one is, what are you most appreciative of in your sobriety? The second one is, what is the one thing you would advise the newcomer? 3, daily, what do you do to maintain and enhance your sobriety? 4, what keeps AA fresh, vital, and alive for you? And 5, what is the biggest challenge for you today? And there should be some copies of the questions at the tables. But again, every once in a while, I'll reread them. All right, so let's get started.
This is a hat. Band member from Depot wore this. Okay, I have Ken.
Ken N. from Mar Vista, number of years of sobriety, 35.
Didn't make you real alcoholic. Thank you. My sobriety date is August 28th, 1980, so today is my birthday. But my sponsor, Dave B., Hawaiian Shirt Dave, put together this incredible party. So please help yourself to the goodies table over there. I am totally overwhelmed, regularly, and humbled by the power that my higher power has come up with every time I have had the courage to turn some part of my life over to it. I didn't believe in a higher power when I got here. I didn't need one. I didn't want one. But they told me if I didn't get one, I was going to die. I believed it. They took me through the steps, and higher power came out the other end. I am totally grateful for this program. It's keeping me alive. Thank you.
Okay, Karen C., Torrance, years of sobriety, 25.
What I'm most grateful for is the ability to hear the truth, and know that criticism is not hurtful, it's beneficial. And the one thing I'd advise a newcomer is go to same-sex meetings. It really helps. It eliminates a lot of problems. And okay, well, I'm good.
Okay, Butcher Joe from Julian, California, years of sobriety, 42.
Joe, grateful alcoholic. Joe. Yeah, what I'm most appreciative of is my wife of 51 years here. You know, she left me when I got to the program, or after let's see. She left me before I got to the program. And after a year or so, you know, we got back together, and she's my strength today. You know, I'm missing a leg and a toe and a finger and a thumb. And she takes care of me. So I guess I'm most grateful to Alcoholics Anonymous to giving me the courage to stay sober so I could have my wife back. Thank you.
Okay, I'd like to add that when you're speaking, try to get as close to the mic as you can so we can hear you. I got a lot of friends in this room. Okay. Dave M. Sapphire Beach Group, years of sobriety, 32.
I'll try to stick to the format here. What is the biggest challenge for you today? After 32 years, I would say keeping this thing fresh and alive. I don't know everything. I attend meetings almost regularly, at least 5 days a week. And Willie here's my sponsor. He's a great sponsor, and I just thank God so much for allowing me to go through the things I had to go through in order to stay around, and it's been a real blessing to be here this long. So thank you.
Okay. Ray S. Torrance, years of sobriety, 36.
I'm sober this morning through God's grace and His fellowship of Alcoholics Anonymous. My home group is a Fourth Dimension group in Torrance on Monday nights, 12 and 12. What I do today to stay sober one day at a time is I thank my higher power each and every day that I have another day of breath so I could show up at these meetings on a regular basis. You know, I was told early in recovery, it's not the time. Time in AA is you don't drink, you don't die. See, it's not the quantity, it's the quality. And I had to think to myself every day, if I think I'm humble, I know I'm not. So I really appreciate being alive and well and moving to this area. I'm from Chicago, Illinois. Thank you very much.
Larry W., Long Beach, years of sobriety, 34.
My name is Larry Walsh. I'm a real alcoholic. And today I got 12,535 days, but who's counting? My only thing I can say to the newcomers is go to meetings, don't drink, and don't die. Thank you.
Angie McSomething, Long Beach, 37 years.
Wow, I'm Angie McSee, and I'm an alcoholic. And at this moment, the thing that I am the most grateful for in my sobriety is that I am able to be there for my loved ones. Even the loved ones that I wouldn't have had if I wasn't sober. And my daughter who went through a rough summer, and you know, I could be there. I couldn't be there when she was growing up. You know, I left her places, and I left her at Groman's Chinese Theater once while I went off to get some speed in Hollywood when she was 6. And one of the things in my sobriety, when she was a teenager, I went to pick her up at Chuck E. Cheese's, and I was new to the area, and I got really, really lost. And I got there about an hour and a half or 2 hours late, and she said, so-and-so and so-and-so went home with Ellie's mom. And I said, no, I'm going to wait here for my mom because I know she's coming. And I just really love being the person they know is coming. Thank you.
I'm just going to read the questions really quickly again. 1, what are you most appreciative of in your sobriety? 2, what is the one thing you would advise the newcomer? 3, daily, what do you do to maintain and enhance your sobriety? 4, what keeps AA fresh, vital, and alive for you? And 5, what is the biggest challenge for you today?
Okay, Tom K., Torrance, 34 years.
I'm Tom, and I'm an alcoholic. And on the daily, what I do daily, first thing I do when I get up is I grab the newspaper and I check the obituaries. And if I'm not in them, I start my day with meditation, which has been very important to me. It keeps me in the now. And I have a co-sponsor who died in January, whom I never met. He didn't know who I was. But through his books, he was a great help to me beyond the normal practice and the sponsor I had. And his name was Ernie Kurtz, and he wrote The Spirituality of Imperfection, which every one of us should read, and even if we find it hard to read. And then he just before he died, he completed the one book he really wanted to do, which is called Experiencing Spirituality. And this book helps me on a day-to-day. I also, as a part of my AA, I do mindful meditation. Talk to me afterward if you'd like to know what that's about. But I do that. It keeps me in the here and now. And instead of thinking in terms of right and wrong, it's is it helpful or isn't it helpful? And if I stay with those simple things along with practicing these programs, I live a really rich, full life. Thank you.
Spiros, Lamita, 27 years.
Spiros Maniatis, alcoholic. My sobriety date's April 14th, 1988. One thing I tell a newcomer is you got to learn to love this thing. If you're going to stay in AA a long time, you've got to learn to love AA. As my first sponsor told me, and it was some of the best advice I ever got. My heart was opened up in Alcoholics Anonymous. I was a very lonely person before I got here. I've never really experienced that isolation since I started practicing these principles. So if you're new or struggling, I tell the new person, learn to love it and throw yourself into it. Thanks.
Sherry L., Redondo Beach, 28 years.
Sherry, alcoholic. Oh, I didn't want to put my name in that box. And the man said, do you want to be God in charge or do you want to be in charge? And I went, oh, okay, put it in. Oh, man. Let me read this. All I can say for the newcomer is to keep coming back, even if you're drinking, come back anyways. I mean, I notice a lot of people are out there drinking and they have a hard time coming back, so I tell them to come back anyways. With rehabs going on, I think people feel uncomfortable to come back. And I remember the days when we used to have wet ones come in. I can't even tell you the last time I saw somebody drinking coming into a meeting. So just come back no matter what. And what are you most appreciative of in your sobriety is that I did not know I had to be an alcoholic to get the life I wanted. I call it the manual to life. I mean, the steps is the blueprint to my living. I had no idea that I would be so grateful to be an alcoholic because this is where I learned how to live my life, through the 12 steps. And I learned about love, which I think was the main thing I was missing, is God and love. And now I'm learning how to love, and I'm learning about compassion. It's not all about myself. So thank you very much.
Neil S., Hermosa Beach, 40 years.
Alcoholic? You know, the question I like here, what keeps AA fresh, vital, and alive for you? I came into Alcoholics Anonymous, I was 12-step by 4 guys, and these 4 guys saved my life. And they said, you know, maybe if you stay sober, you'll be able to pass this on. And that's what keeps me going, doing 12-step work and sponsoring, step sponsoring. But that's what keeps me going, and I've done a few of that in my years of sobriety. And my relationship with God also, I want to put that in, because I came in as agnostic. And I started getting involved in the 3rd step and realizing I've got a higher power, and my relationship started growing stronger and stronger. Thank you.
Okay, John B., Dominguez Hills, 28 years.
I'm John, I'm an alcoholic. Grateful to be sober today. It's wonderful to be in this group of people. My advice to the newcomer, I got this from Rotten Ron. He drummed it in my head every time I saw him. Go to meetings, eat cookies, and don't drink between cookies. I want to say something to Butcher Joe. Wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here. When I was in rehab in South Bay Hospital, Butcher Joe got in my face and he screamed at me, if you don't change your attitude, you're not going to make it and you're going to go out there and die. And he had tears in his eyes, and I thought, what a frickin' weirdo. I know what the tears mean today, buddy. Thank you.
All right. Marv H., San Pedro, 43 years.
And I'm an alcoholic. I have no legitimate complaints and my life is good. And I picked up that as a motto. a number of years ago because I found out that was my truth. That when I got here, I was a malcontent and blamed everybody else for my problems, and I stopped doing that somewhere at about 20 years on the program. And if I had anything to say to newcomers, I would say get a sponsor and work the steps. And I had a good leader, besides having a sponsor, my wife, who has 5.5 months more than I have. She's never let me forget it. And we live a comfortable life, thank you.
Okay, Al Russell, Lawndale, 38 years.
My name is Al, and I am an alcoholic. What is the one thing you would advise a newcomer? Well, there was a lot of things they told me. They told me to take the cotton out of my ears and put it in my mouth and sit down and shut up, you know. And I didn't like that. And I said, I don't like that. They said, we're not here to tell you what you like. How do you like that? I said, I don't like that either. Standing out in front of TLC one day, you know, and a guy pulls up, he said, get in the car. I said, where are you going? He said, what the hell's the matter? You ain't doing nothing. Get in the car. He said, put your seatbelt in. I don't want to get no ticket, and shut up. And we went on my first 12-step call. I don't remember much about it. I was scared shitless. But anyway, you know, I stayed. Thank God for somebody mentioned 4 old guys. 4 old guys got a hold of me, and they beat the hell out of me. They knew what to do with a self-centered, bogus ass. You know, they stripped me down. And they rebuilt me one little piece at a time. That's all I could take. And I thank God for those guys. And I think one of them was Rotten Ron. I wish it wasn't, but I think it was. But anyway, I'm grateful to be here, grateful to be sober. Thank you.
Shirley Z., Redondo Beach, 28 years.
Hold on. Sorry, I didn't know my name was in the hat, but anyway, I'm Shirley. I'm an alcoholic, and I love my sobriety. I love Alcoholics Anonymous, and I remember meeting Butcher Joe, mutual friend Harry Hogan from Hawthorne, took me into Joe's shop and introduced me when I was brand new, and Harry gave me my first big book and told me what to do. He said, go to meetings, do the steps, get a woman sponsor, and help others. You know, after you go through the steps, you need to help someone else. And, you know, I love what I'm learning. I'm learning to grow up, and I'm still pretty selfish, but I'm getting better as time goes on. And I'm going to keep coming back and go to lots of meetings, and I love it. Thank you.
Just a reminder, please try to speak up, because I'm in my 60s now and I can't hear, so thank you. Okay. Jimmy S. from the city of Roxbury's Minstag, 42 years of sobriety.
My name is Jimmy Sortino. I am a real alcoholic. All I can say is I'm thankful for this wonderful program, all of you people that are here. The only thing I can say today is I love you all. Thank you.
All right. Dale W., San Pedro, 43 years.
I'm Dale Walker. I'm an alcoholic. And I'm going to pick two of these things. The most important, or the most thing I'm most appreciative about in my sobriety is the fact that my family actually enjoys having me around. And that wasn't the way it was going to be when I first got here. And it wasn't the way it was for my dad when he died of this disease. And, you know, what keeps AA fresh and vital for me is my morning meeting. And that's the beautiful part of this thing. As long as I can get up and go, my life is good. And I get to hang out with my friends. Love you, Johnny.
Kurt Sater, La Quinta, 36 years old.
My name's Kurt Satter. I'm an alcoholic. Sober by God's grace and the living principles of Alcoholics Anonymous. And it's a pleasure to be here amongst so many people that mean so much to me that I love in Alcoholics Anonymous. I really respect everybody in this room because we're all miracles, you know, no doubt about that. And, you know, the only thing, I used to say the only thing that enhanced my drinking was my drinking, you know. And today it's, you know, sobriety, the continuous sobriety keeps me, you know, enhances my sobriety. And, you know, these, I don't necessarily like questions. Most alcoholics don't like questions. They're hard to answer in some cases, but one of the things that keeps AA fresh and vital and alive for me is not only the history of Alcoholics Anonymous, which I've been delving into the last 3 years of my my retirement and collecting books, all Alcoholics Anonymous and Al-Anon and AA-related literature, and you know, just doing the drill, you know, being there for the alcoholic who still suffers, you know, our primary purpose, you know, and you know, I've had the pleasure of sponsoring quite a few guys in this room. They've helped me probably more than I've helped them. And since I've been out in the desert, moved out there 8 years ago, you know, I got a rich, full life today. And most of you know who said that, you know, Frank Priest. And, you know, I'm connected out there. I found Alcoholics Anonymous works good out there too. It may not be the best foundation like I found here in the South Bay. So if you're new, you know, this is the place to lock into AA. Thank you.
Okay, next case. Jim Holder, Rancho Santa Margarita, 26 years.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Jim Holder. I'm an alcoholic. Sobriety date's January 2nd of 1989, and my sponsor is sitting right here next to me. God, it's good to be home. I moved away 13 years ago, and what am I most grateful for is you know, I'm not drinking today, and I don't ever want to lose sight of that because I love to drink. What's been vital in my recovery and how I keep it fresh is I sit across the table from another alcoholic and try and carry a message of hope. I couldn't stop drinking, and I got tapped into the South Bay Roundup when I was 6 months sober, and it's my 27th Roundup, and I got to tell you, you guys have embraced me and loved me, and you've watched me get married, you've watched me get divorced, you've watched me get my children back in my life, and I don't deserve any of it because I'll take advantage of you every second I got, I'm real grateful for the old-timers who made ready a room for a drunk like me, and if I can help anybody, I'll do that. Thanks.
George L., Redondo Beach, 32 years.
My name is George, and I'm an alcoholic. Sorry, I won't touch the mic. My message to anybody is get involved in the recovery. I happen to be in the Carry the Message committee. Cheryl was the chairman in the first roundup, and I've been to every roundup since. And in that first roundup, my mission was to carry flyers to all the Alano clubs in the area. And that might sound easy, but that first year, nobody knew what the roundup was going to be. There was much conversation. Is it AA related? Is it not? And some of the Alano clubs wouldn't even let me put up a poster. But it sure has changed since then. And this room gets bigger and bigger every year. And I'm absolutely thrilled with being sober. I think that I look for the humor in things. I think that we should all try to wear our sobriety like a loose garment, and a little less self-examination and a little more helping others seems to work for me. Thank you.
Jeep M., Cathedral City, California, 38 years.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jerry, and I am an alcoholic. And I also came to you as Jeep 38 years ago, and many times I still respond to that name. What's in my mind this morning is that I shared a little bit last night about when we put the roundup together. I had the honor and privilege of being involved with that group. And one of the major goals, as I said last night, was to make a fun place for the newcomers to come, to see that they could have a great experience without the use of alcohol or other drugs. But the second reason and I mentioned a little bit about this, about South Bay, when we started South Bay Central Office. I did remember the name that I forgot last night. Carol R., along with Bozo, helped us start Central Office. But one of the major things was, let's get all the groups together. Let's have all of the home groups in the South Bay area together and look at all the flags. And look at all the ceremony last night about the groups of Alcoholics Anonymous coming together. I think the basic thing that I learned when I first came to Alcoholics Anonymous and heard was, keep coming back. Those are the three most famous words I remember. The others are one day at a time. One day at a time. And here I am 38 years later with the privilege of being a member of Alcoholics Anonymous and the honor of being a part of something like this. One day at a time, staying sober one day at a time. I start my day with 3 publications because I'm a historically minded kind of thing. I commend the archive group. I used the original book that we used in AA for meditation called God Calling. God Calling became the 24-hour-a-day book, and the 24-hour-a-day book gave way to Reflections. And that's historically how I start my day, and I am just so grateful to be here. Thank you.
Mark H., Redondo Beach, 30 years.
I'm Mark, and I'm alcoholic. I can answer all 5 in less than a minute and a half. Watch. Number one, what am I most appreciative of in my sobriety? Jay standing right there when I was about a year sober shared that in AA he found a purpose for his life. I was a guy who didn't have any purpose in my life, and I found a purpose here in Alcoholics Anonymous, and I found out of that, practicing that purpose, I get a whole life that really works. One thing I'd advise the newcomers, put yourself right in the middle of AA. Get involved in everything. What do I do to maintain and enhance my sobriety? I go to a lot of meetings. I sponsor a lot of people. I'm accountable to my sponsor. I practice prayer and meditation, and you know, I've got so many people around me that it's hard for me to screw up unless I really go out of my way. I have to work really hard at it. AA is fresh and vital and alive for me today, as Neil said, because of the new people that come in, and I get to work in the book with them, and I love that. It keeps me alive and keeps me right-sized. My biggest challenge today is to remain humble because my ego is nasty. Thank you.
Ken H., Hermosa Beach, 25 years.
Hi, I'm Ken. I'm an alcoholic. My sobriety date is 5/5/90, Cinco de Mayo. That was a hard year. The one thing I'd advise the newcomer is what I was advised when I came in here. I came in through a preschool for AA, which I call the recovery program, outpatient recovery program. And they told me that there's only one thing I had to change. And I thought, I hate change, but I can change one thing. And I said, what's that? And they said, everything. And then I asked how. And then they told me, go to meetings, don't drink. I like the cookie thing. Don't drink between cookies. Find a sponsor, get a higher power, work the steps, and help others. And that's what I've been doing for about 25 years now. My life has changed dramatically. You know, when I got here, I was 13 years after a divorce. I got married 5 years ago, remarried 5 years ago after being single for 33 years. And I have a family now. I have two families. I have my AA family, and I have a family that is unbelievable. I have 6 children. I have 4 grandchildren. I have a wife that I love dearly who's great. She's not in the program, but she is very spiritual. And together we walk this path. And that's what I'm most appreciative for. Thank you.
Anna Torrance, 29 years.
To obtain additional copies, receive a free catalog of AA and Al-Anon talks, or to find out about our tape and CD of the Month Club, call Encore Audio Archives at 1-800-878-1308 or visit our website at www.12steptapes.com.
What I'm most appreciative of today is, number one, being here. It is about the days and not about the years. And when Mark talked about humility, I get that. I'm appreciative of those who came before me, those who came after me, and the class of 1986 at New Beginnings Hospital. And there's still some of us who I get to see here every year. You know, my relationship with my higher power this past year has just grown exponentially. And I'm ever so grateful, because I don't care what you think about me, but I care about what I think about you. Thank you.
Connie C., Silver City, New Mexico, 32 years.
Hi, my name is Connie Chavez, and I'm a grateful alcoholic. I want to say this is so exciting. We've been gone for 2 years, and you're bothering me. I keep going, we're going this way or that way. But I'm just kidding. But anyway, I turn and we've been gone for 2 years when we moved to Silver City, and I'm part of the Birch group. Birch is my home group. I was at Birch for 30 years before we moved, and I love Birch. Birch is not always represented, but I want to let you know there's some really awesome recovery over there. I also want to let you know that I heard something new, and I just loved it. I've always heard about the alcoholism, the I, self, and me. Now, one of the girls that I sponsor in Silver, she says, no, Connie, that's not the way it goes. I said, well, how do it goes? She goes, I sponsor myself. I said, okay. So I really like that, so now I'm sharing it. And I would like to tell you guys that we really love you and we miss you. I miss AA in California. It is different. The sad part, I believe, is the old timers are giving up. We don't stand for the fight anymore. And I go see places, our traditions are not being observed, our big book is not being reserved, and sadly it's because we're not teaching these babies coming in how to do this in Alcoholics Anonymous, and it breaks my heart. I want to say that I love my husband, Tony Chavez. All of you guys know him and love him, and if you haven't met him yet, you will, because he'll be giving something to somebody. And he is the most awesome man that I was so honored to meet when I was, he waited till I had a year sober, and he has loved me now for almost 31 years. And I am the most blessed woman I know. So if you're ever in Silver City, come and see us.
Steve, Long Beach, 31 years.
Steve, alcoholic. I'm going to take the easiest question. What are you most appreciative in your sobriety? My sobriety. I love being sober. Marv's been my sponsor for 29 years and the greatest sponsor in the world. I got here because of a beady-eyed little Al-Anon who wanted me sober no matter what. And I did not want to be sober, but I wanted to get back in the big bed. And she finally released me, and that speeds up pitiful and incomprehensible demoralization. Anyway, I got the hook last year, so I'm going to end it right there. Thank you.
Annie, High Rolls, New Mexico, 32 years.
I'm Annie Daniels, and I'm an alcoholic. And I have 31 years. Somebody put it wrong. Never mind. I absolutely love being sober, and I think that for me, my what's worked best for me in my sobriety, and I'd pass it on to anybody, is one of the first things I heard is I was given all these directions that were just I couldn't see doing them. It was too difficult, too painful, and my sponsor said, I said, you don't understand. I can't do this stuff. It's too scary. And she said, so what? Who cares? Do it anyway. And that still works for me today. And, despite how I feel, I go ahead and take the actions. And as a result, I have an unbelievable life in Alcoholics Anonymous. And the best part's the fellowship and passing it on. And I'm glad to be here. Thank you so much.
Okay, I forgot to add that she has 32 years. Okay. Oh, okay. It says 32. Okay. Marla P., San Jacinto, 36 years.
And at San Jacinto, in case you don't know. Jacinto. I am so grateful to be here and enjoy the fellowship of Alcoholics Anonymous. And I want to thank Anna for what she said. My friend Karen and I have been trying to carry the message, and I think that's the most important thing that we can do here, is to carry the message to the newcomers. There's so many things that are wrong happening to our fellowship today. And if we don't speak up at our meetings and make these corrections, when they say it's okay we think we should merge Narcotics Anonymous and Alcoholics Anonymous, we need to speak up and tell them why it's not a good idea. And I think many of us just aren't. And I hope that everyone takes back one message, that we need to keep this message going of what Alcoholics really stands for, and not let them, newer or younger people, try to change it, which there many are trying to do. And it scares me. And I know that was the one thing that scared Bill. We need to maintain our singleness of purpose. Thanks for letting me share.
Okay, Marilyn S., Torrance, 28 years.
Hi, I'm Marilyn. I'm an alcoholic. The thing I'm most appreciative for is Alcoholics Anonymous. It saved my life, first of all. When I got here, I had no way to cope except for alcohol. Through the steps, the book, my sponsor, my sponsees, everything that we get in Alcoholics Anonymous have allowed me to cope. And it doesn't matter what you're going through, you don't have to drink. I have some experience with that. You don't have to drink. Stay close. All of you are such a support and have so much love all the way through my sobriety. I could probably pull any one of you aside as we leave this meeting and talk with you and get support and get love. It's incredible. Where do you find that? I think the last thing is that this program has fostered my spiritual growth. I talk to God every single day, and to the best of my ability, I try to let everything go to God. I let Him take care of my life. Now, the thing I'm struggling with is I always take it back, almost always, but, you know, I'm learning, and I'm sure at 28 years, I'm sure I have a lot more to learn.
I'm going to read the... Do you all have the questions? I don't want to read them if you got them. All right, then I don't have to hear my voice.
Okay, Belinda M., Kirkland, Washington, 36 years.
Hi, I'm Belinda, alcoholic. And these are just suggested questions, right? You know, because I never follow directions. So I just have to tell you, 36 years, I still haven't drank, but I don't really follow. I don't like to do that. But anyway, I'll still stick to the topic anyway. I might not get in the order, but what sobriety means to me anyway, I mean, what I'm so grateful for is my enthusiasm of life. I mean, I have a great life. I'm healthy. I have 3 kids that have never seen me drink, you know. I feel at times, you know, like some things fall apart, like I got divorced and I had to sell my house, but I got money from my house. I'm good friends with my ex-spouse, and we help still raise these, you know, adult kids. But I wake up every day and I feel good, you know. I don't have hangovers and I don't feel bad. And I got to go to Mexico with my daughter and her girlfriends. They'd wake up in the morning and they're a lot younger than I am, and they looked really bad, you know, and they did not have a good time. I mean, when they were, you know, yeah. So, but I still got to run with the best of them, you know, and I do things today that make me happy, like I listen to books on tape because I don't want to put on my glasses in the car and read, right? So I put those little CDs in the car, and I just have so much fun, you know, and I'm not having to flip the channels all the time, and, you know, and I sing and I dance and I you know, just love my life. And one thing, though, that I learned from all of you is don't take yourself so damn seriously, which my sponsor said is Rule 62. And I really believe in that you guys made me laugh at myself by telling me the truth, and there goes the gong. Bye.
Joe Lester, Harbor City, 31 years. $31.
Joe Lester, alcoholic. I want to thank all the gentle giants that came to AA before I did that were here when I got here. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have had the space to get to stay. And it's my job to give the next person through that door the space to get to stay here. And what can I tell that new person that comes through that door? Same thing my first sponsor told me the first meeting I ever went to. He said, if I never speak to you again, 2 things to remember. Become teachable, stay that way. Thanks for being here for me.
Jane, TC, Santa Monica, 49 years.
Janet Carsola. It's hard to believe that you're 49. That's a lifetime. My daughter's 49. You know, it's a lifetime. But it's what a difference, you know, the sobriety makes. It's unbelievable how it's improved and enhanced my life. I think you have to stay sober, take care of yourself, don't smoke, and you know, maybe you'll get 49, 50 years on this planet, you know. I'm very grateful just to be breathing every day. I thank God for the day, you know. Here I am again. Wow. Like the guy who said he's not in the obituary column, it's a good day. And I like to remember that alcohol is cunning, baffling, and powerful because I live up, you know, where people do go out. And I guess they do everywhere. But in our area, it's fairly prevalent. And I don't think it's a necessity. You know, if you really think about your program and you want to live a great life, got to stay here and be grateful for all that we have here. And so thanks. This is great to be here. I was a little late. That's why the name is perfect. But I'm going to go register after. I like the one day at a time.
Excuse me, my artificial hip is picking up radio frequencies in here. I'm okay. Artificial hip. Does anybody have one like me out there? All right, we got a couple hands. All right. Let's see. This is Doris from Torrance, 36 years.
I'm Doris, alcoholic. May the 1st, 1979. May Day, you know. I gave it up. Thank you. And the only thing I would say to the newcomer is get into that book. You know, find out what really makes this thing work, because it works good. Thank you.
Okay, Linda K. Gardena, 33 years. Just come right up here.
Thank you. I'm Linda. I'm alcoholic. And the one thing that I would tell a newcomer is to keep coming back. You live one day at a time, and you can live through anything without taking a drink. My husband passed away, and I didn't have to drink. My kids act out, and I didn't have to drink. I was sober January 11th, 1982, and I can't do it without all of you. You help give me the courage and strength to keep going on. And I am eternally grateful for all of you, and thank you.
Kathy W., McKenzie Park, 27 years. Chesney Park.
Hi, my name is Kathy. I'm an alcoholic. Machesney Park, Illinois. Woo! As of Monday night, I'm gone. Whew. My heart's beating really hard. What keeps AA fresh, vital, and alive for you? The newcomer. I love working with newcomers, and especially when you see the light come on in their eyes. Oh my gosh. My home group is the Peninsula Women's Group on Friday at 1 o'clock. I know there's a few of you here. I saw you. And when a newcomer comes in there, I just like to beat feet over to her, welcome her to Alcoholics Anonymous. And I absolutely love, I've got one that's just so hungry for the program. I'm so grateful to be there with her. I enjoy working with newcomers. I enjoy working the steps. I love being in the big book. I've got a marvelous sponsor. She's here. She gave me a roll of toilet paper so that I could mop up my tears this weekend. My 28 years, 27 years, coming up on 28 next month in the program have all been here. And everybody's just, if I hadn't had Al-Anon first, and I have to plug it, I have to plug it. If I hadn't had Al-Anon first, I don't know what would have happened. I'm so, so grateful to Alcoholics Anonymous and my life here. But what I'm also grateful for is the connection. I spoke at a meeting on Friday night. One of the girls at the meeting had heard of Machesney Park. She got sober in a town right next door. And she hooked me up with some women there. I've got a place to go when I get there. And I am so grateful for the connections. Thank God for Alcoholics Anonymous. Thank you for letting me share.
Johnny B., San Pedro, 35 years.
My name's Johnny B., and I'm an alcoholic. You know, somebody over here said it, that saying took on a whole new meaning this year. It's don't drink and don't die. It's been a tough year. You didn't get the humor in that. That was supposed to be funny, you know, don't drink, don't die. Anyways, I am really grateful to be here this particular year. And I think the question that jumps out the most to me is how do you keep it alive and keep it fresh? And for me, the challenge is and Mark said it in some ways, a couple other people, my own ego. When I go into a meeting or work with somebody and I want to impress them with what I know, I don't grow. When I talk about where I'm at in my sobriety and how I'm trying to live and grow in this program, then it keeps it fresh and alive for me. So my biggest challenge really is keeping my own ego in check, trying to strive for some humility and keep working this program. So if I start telling you about what I know about AA, go the other way. If I start sharing my experience and where I'm at, then I'm real. So thank you. It's great to be here.
Okay, JS, Sedona, Arizona, 36 years.
God's doing
doing for me today what I couldn't do for myself because it's a little before noon on a Friday and I haven't had anything to drink yet. And I bring you greetings from the Sedona Reflections group of Alcoholics Anonymous. We meet every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. You are entirely welcome. Please come by and see us. I bring you greetings from Adele Shea, my fabulous wife, and she sends you her very best. Me. You know, the answer to all 5 questions is work with others. And if that's not clear enough, between 2 and 4 tomorrow, Bill and I and Josh are going to be talking about all the fun you can have working with others. But for me, the most inspiring thing about Alcoholics Anonymous is there is no top to it. You know, I really thought when I had 5 years sober that I knew how wonderful life could be. And I thought I had an idea when I was 8 years sober, or 12 years sober, or 30 years sober. But 36 is absolutely exponential, and I can't wait to see what tomorrow will bring. And if you don't have that experience, dream deeply. It's available for you. Whatever it is in your heart of hearts, if you just put AA first, the rest of this stuff will all come out. Where's my gong? Because I want a little sound healing for the entire meeting. Anyway, the reason they've created a place like Sedona is for people like me to end up in. Everything they say about it is true. Come and join us.
Okay, Gil G., Long Beach, 36 years.
My name's Gil. I'm an alcoholic. June 10th, 1979. Love that date. Yeah, you know, it's funny. Mark and a couple of other people have alluded to this idea that all 5 questions all kind of come together, and I have to agree with that. I'm so appreciative that I'm sober and alive and halfway productive in this life, and that I'm no longer enduring it. I'm enjoying it, having a lot of fun. And so what I tell newcomers, I says, you know what I'm doing and what I got, just do what I do. You know, I don't give them any other serious instructions that, you know, that confuses them. Just do what I do, and you might get what I get. If you don't do what I do, I have no guarantees that you're even going to be alive next week. And then I look at what I do to keep, you know, what I do as an example for them is I just do a lot of meetings. I have commitments at every meeting, even if I have to make one up. And I just do this deal. I don't care what it takes. I just do it. There are days when I don't want to do it, but I do it anyway. You know. I was thinking about that last question about the you know, trials and tribulations of my life. I have a little plaque that my wife absolutely hates. It says, "He who expects nothing cannot be disappointed." And if there's ever a struggle in my life, as I've been sober, you know, I've been sober this long, and living a life and following the directions and trying to do the right things in life, like putting the shopping cart back where it belongs and all the little stuff that I never used to do, my expectations of the world get a little bit out of sync, because I expect the rest of the world to act just like I try to act, and God knows they don't. And to the one lady who was talking about singleness of purpose, that's one of my main purposes in being a long-timer around here, is carrying that message that, yes, we have a single purpose. Let's not ever, ever forget it. Thanks.
Bill C., Torrance, 30 years sobriety.
Get the gong ready. Bill, alcoholic. You know, I get to travel around AA a lot, and I'm here to report to you that Alcoholics Anonymous is alive and well and as effective and vibrant as it has ever been. There is nothing threatening us. Nothing can hurt us. The traditions are tools, not weapons. Each meeting is autonomous. It's controlled chaos, although it's not controlled very well. If you hear the word that there are no leaders, get into general service. You'll realize very quickly, I mean, this thing should not exist for one reason. Rule number one is everyone gets to come. And you and I both know there's some people that should be weeded out of this thing, but they all get to come, all of them. And in the South Bay, they all come. One of the things that I am grateful for is I was raised in AA in the South Bay, where we have a strong ethic of sponsorship, a strong ethic of the big book. And the most spiritual thing that you'll hear in Alcoholics Anonymous is get in the car. That is the most spiritual thing you'll ever hear. The rest of it is all just foo-foo, Get in the car. And for some awful reason, I just got in the car. I have never lost my enthusiasm. In 30 years, I've never been bored in AA. I've been pissed off. I've been treated poorly on a regular basis. But I have never been bored. And if you're sitting out there today and you're bored, it really is because you're boring. Where's my gong?
I'd like to add that Bill's my sponsor, but that was an act of God for me to pick that out of there. Okay, Tom Ludun, London, El Camino Village, 26 years. Oh, Tim! Hey, I'm a special ed teacher, okay? But that looks like an O.
Tim Loudon, alcoholic. I'm grateful to God and AA. I'm sober here with you guys today. This is a great long-timers meeting. When they say it, appreciate, I think it's gratitude I have for the men who's helped me. And there's a long list. My history in AA goes back to 1970. A judge gave me a choice of going in a program out in the valley or going to the penitentiary for 3 years. So I weighed that one out, So my sobriety is in 88. I have 21 days, 11 months, and 26 years. My sponsor says it that way. You don't want to get too many years and not enough days. I have a lot of appreciation to Gene Jones and Byron Pierce, Utah Tony, Rotten Ron. These are men that, Al Russell, David Barch now. And without help, it was too much for me. I asked Ron once, why do you think I can't get this thing, Ron? He says, Tim, you probably have a great grasp of the bottle and didn't want to let go of it. And that was probably the case. And I love the South Bay Roundup. I met my beautiful wife in the bar over here, quite a few years ago. And I love Alcoholics Anonymous. Happy birthday to Ken. I'm a Roxbury man. He is. Happy birthday. I love Rocky. I'm going to miss him. And he's another man. Let me see if I can get the gong. Rocky told me in the meeting, he says, Tim, he said this, it's paraphrased so I don't get it right, Rocky. He goes, if you're going to a meeting and you see your family had an accident, he says, you got to go to that meeting first. Get that meeting in and then take care of it. I thought that was kind of cold, but he was getting across the thing how important Alcoholics Anonymous.
Thank you, Tim. Okay, Bill N. El Segundo, 32 years. Mike Bird, Torrance, 30 years.
Alec. And that little hairy guy needs to get ready because I'm going to gong out. And I went to the Gong Show. We used to go to the Gong Show Friday nights in Hermosa Beach. Rocky would stand up there and read out of the TV guide. Here's what you're missing by coming to the Gong Show. And no gum chewing either. Take out the gum or you're not sober. Rocky was a weird dog. But we took cakes every year with Eric Bloor and Butcher Joe and Dave Barge right in December. December 21st, 1984 is my sobriety date. And this year Eric's gone, and now George O'Hagan, all my friends around here, these old guys that kept me feeling safe and protected and so I can grow up here. A big part of my sobriety today is gratitude. And they say that the more you're grateful for, the more you'll have to be grateful about. So I try to stay a lot in gratitude and be grateful for all my lessons and the things I'm learning. One of the questions about being vital is I have a sponsor, is Herb Kagan, and I call him just about every day. Something I've learned recently is, the meetings, the Alcoholics Anonymous is not just in the meetings. If it's just about meetings here, then you're missing it. There's a big program. I had a sponsor, Joe Hawk, for years. He used to tell me there's two programs. There's the one in the fellowship. There's the one that's in the book. And if you're willing to go in and ask the questions in the book, you'll be able to have an access to a power greater than yourself, which will solve your problem. And that was really important because about 2.5 years sober, I got real desperate in AA and started suffering. And I know there's guys in here, and I try to share this when I share from the podium or anytime. I know there's people in here that's like your last day. You're saying it's your last day. It's not. Sobriety can get rough. It's not easy being sober a long time. But by being here, this great roundup that we have every year, this family reunion, the fellowship meetings, sponsorship, and then taking the journey through the work, then we get to have an access to a power greater than ourselves. And it's just a wonderful, wonderful thing. So I can't say enough about it, and I can't wait till that
gong goes. There we go. Okay, Greg, Redondo Beach, 27 years. All right. How unfortunate. Clayton B., Manhattan Beach, 36 3/4 years.
Clayton, alcoholic. I'm honored to be here. I'm so glad that I can bring forth with enough realization how bad it used to be. I hope I never forget how bad it used to be. I want to thank the guys that were here before me and put their finger in my chest and told me the truth, like Butcher Joe and Tony and guys like my first sponsor, rest in peace, God bless him, Frank Defrey. I am sponsored today, and I sponsor others, and more than anything, the appreciation I have for Alcoholics Anonymous stems from the fact that I don't drink no matter fucking what. No matter fucking what, okay? Alcoholics Anonymous works really good, especially if you don't drink.
Matt H., Manhattan Beach, 32 years. Diane D., Redondo Beach, 38 years.
Thought it was at a men's stag, Diane alcoholic. Oh my gosh, Butch, Clayton just said it all for me. It was the people that helped me when I was brand new, and it's that list that you just mentioned. And this woman right here. What do I appreciate in AA? People that are sober longer than me that stay sober, because I need them. And when I walk in and I see Laura, when I saw Laura the first time she was waitressing at a restaurant, she was so mean to me, and I was new, and I started crying. And
And then I saw her at the midnight wrist slashers meeting at the old Manhattan Beach Club, and I went, oh shit, man. And we have become like really good friends, and she's taught me so much about staying sober, you know. We have the same birthday, May 16th, so it's pretty cool. And you know what keeps this program alive for me is that I've been graced with the humility to ask for help when I need it. Because I don't care how much time you have around here, life happens. And I just, a couple years ago, went through the book again and just saw it in a completely different way. This program never gets old. Never. It always works. And I'm so grateful. I joined a new group in AA. I just needed some extra help. It was that time. And so I'm just, wow, you know, I'm most appreciative today that I'm not drunk. Because I should be drunk. It's Friday. Yeah, I should be drunk. Absolutely. So, yeah, thank you.
Barbara M., Torrance, 34 years.
My name is Barbara. I'm 34 years and 3/4. Yeah, I didn't know you're 60 and you're much long. He's older than I am. That's terrible. Anyway, one of the things about this is that I have in the sobriety is the fact that I extended my life because most of the time I was blacked out all the time, you know, so I extended that, but I've had that one. I have to tell you, I'm here because of my sobriety and the people around me that says what I could do. And never, ever, ever give up. Keep going on. There is a place that says, let go and let God. And let go, and on your way down, He'll give you the wings to complete your time. So I done hit the gong today, and I thank you. The one thing I have to say is to people that are new, I know there's a lot of things on and on and on. Is it, what are they talking about? I don't know that. But the thing about it is learn to listen to what they have to say. When I was in H&I could go to the panels and listen. Thank you.
Jeff W., Torrance, 25 years.
I'll tell you, what I appreciate about Alcoholics Anonymous most is you. I look around the room and I see how many people I recognize, how many of you were here when I got here. And you welcome me here and you say, keep coming back. You still say, keep coming back. Thank you for that. And I get to come to the meeting, or come to this meeting, sit between two phenomenal, beautiful, young, sober women that I've known since I got sober. And I'm grateful for that because I followed a young lady into the doors of Alcoholics Anonymous, and then the women abruptly turned me over to the men. And you taught me how to live sober. And it stays fresh for me because I keep learning. I keep growing. Progress, not perfection. Thank goodness. I made a lot of progress. Don't feel like I'm any closer to perfection. But I see Tim and other men here, Chuck. There's a lot of men here that help me so much over the years. Something I learned from Neil recently was a great saying that's true. It just rang so true. I came to AA, the men taught me how to be a man, the women taught me how to be a gentleman. You know, when my mother died, I showed up drunk at her funeral, loaded, got in a fist fight. 3.5 years sober. When my father passed away, I showed up and was of service the way you taught me how to be, and I had people that hadn't spoken to me in the 11 years between those two funerals because of how I behaved. And to me, that sums up my experience in Alcoholics Anonymous. They looked at me and they said, my gosh, your parents will be so proud of you today. You're here for us and comforting us. We should be here for you. But I don't know how to do it any other way. I get to continue learning because I have a huge ego and I still put my foot in it a lot. And I get to come back and continue to dive deeper into the program. And it's just totally awesome. Something else that I learned new recently, for the new people, read the first 3 words on page 112 and do everything that it says. Thank you.
Donna McCormick, Longdale, 28 years.
Hi, I'm Donna McCormick, alcoholic. July 5th, 1987. Now, I don't know who wrote these questions, but they're perfect. I read them and they made me laugh out loud because I can answer all of them, I guess, by just saying work the steps. I can also just be honest with you, which is what I've always tried to do, because being a secret is really scary for me. I was really rude to a woman last night. Yeah, a complete stranger. And I knew that I needed to talk to her today. Fortunately, I knew where to find her. And I needed to take care of it this morning because I didn't like the idea of her having bad feelings because I was a bitch. So, you taught me to think about somebody else. So I talked to her and she was lovely, and she said that she thought to herself, she must be having a bad day. So she was gracious and intuitive, and how can I not love you guys when things go? I got to work a 9th step, and it was really nice. She was very appreciative that I talked to her, and I'm very grateful that you've shown me how to work the steps. Thanks.
Emily San Pedro, 44 years.
I'm an alcoholic. And June 17th of 1971, I'm told my husband, I told my husband I kept drinking and I couldn't stop. And the next morning, I was told by Marvin that I had to be dressed and ready to go. Someone was going to pick me up. And these 2 gals took me to my first AA women's meeting. And everybody laughed and clapped and just had a wonderful time. And I thought, gee, this looks like kind of fun. And of course, I was still drunk. But the thing that happened was when they got back to the house, they opened the door for me and, like out. And she said to me, if you can stay sober till next Tuesday, till next Tuesday, then we'll come pick you up again. And that was my beginning. And she was around, and all the gals that were tough, and they'd say, tell me what to do, and I've tried to do it. And the thing that is the most exciting to me today is that I'm still here and I'm still sober, and so are all of you. So let's keep going.
Sue H., Torrance, 28 years.
Okay, I had to write it down. What else is new? Actually, the first person that came into the Torrance Solano Club, when I first walked in the door, and he handed me a book, and he said, sit down, and then at the end, he said, just keep coming back. And I was one of the most confused people in the whole world, and my world was falling in around me, and yet It was the people in those rooms, these rooms, the rooms within all of the South Bay, which is where I've mainly stayed. You've helped me. You've given me your life. You've shown me the way. You've told me what to do, which I'm not really great at taking directions from other people, but I took your directions. And I'm here, and I'm grateful, and I will keep coming back. And that would be the thing that I tell anyone. Just keep coming back. First 30 days, just keep coming back, because that wagon, you're not going to fall off the wagon. The wagon is always there for you to just jump right back on. It's there. It's holding you. And thank you for sharing your stories, your lives, your wisdom. And as I go forward in wherever my curiosity is leading in me in my retirement years, come on along with me. We'll have some fun. So thank you.
Cheryl, Redondo Beach, 37 years.
I'm Cheryl. I'm an alcoholic. And my sobriety date is September 26, 1977. And I don't understand the question about having to keep AA alive or whatever that says. I've never had that issue. Like a few others, I've always enjoyed being in Alcoholics Anonymous, and haven't always enjoyed what was going on in my life or what I was learning about me or that stuff, but I've always liked being here. You know, I want to go to the meeting. I want to hear what's going on with my friends. I want to be involved and a part of and in service and doing all that stuff, sponsoring, being sponsored. All the things we do here have given me, that is my life. So it's not a separate thing that I go to AA and then I have a life somewhere else. This is my life. And I was never particularly anonymous about it in early sobriety. I let people I worked with and whatnot know that I was in AA because I was going to stuff like this and dances and all the kind of stuff we did. And you can't go to work on Monday and they say, what'd you do this weekend? Well, I went to this dance. Oh, really? What kind of dance? Where did you? Well, you know, I didn't want to have to do that. I just said, I'm in AA and I'm getting sober. I'm sober. And I went to a sober dance, you know, and I could talk about it that way. I didn't have to be a secret. And it's okay if you don't feel that way about it, but that's what worked for me, if you're new. And I was thinking, we always tell people get a sponsor, but I don't hear people talk about how you do that anymore. And we used to talk about all that stuff more. I was told to go to meetings and, in my case, listen to the women, look for someone that I identified with or that had what I wanted, and ask them to sponsor me. And if for some reason they couldn't, do it again, you know, because not everybody can always be available. It wasn't personal. And I really needed to know that because I took everything personal when I got here. I didn't have a sense of humor. And the first sponsor I picked because she had a sense of humor and I wanted one. So, and that worked for me. And it's such a treat to see all the people I got sober with here and listen to you guys. I'm hoping Tony gets called on too.
Kim G., Redondo Beach, 29 years.
Hi, I'm Kim, alcoholic.
Kim.
And I have 29 years and some months. Anyway, the question that I would like to answer is, what am I most appreciative of in sobriety? And that would be my sober husband and my daughter, who's never seen neither her mother or father take a drink and does not have this disease, but is in the field of helping people with this disease. And that, so she sees how important it is, and that's blows my mind. And also my girlfriends. I have the best of friends in this program. That is something I always wanted, and I never had it before. And this, I have true friends. So that's it. Thanks.
Tim G., Redondo Beach, 30 years.
Tim, alcoholic. I agree with her. It's good to be here. It's good to be sober. July the 1st, 1985. Stood up as newcomer down at the Hermosa Beach Alano Club. Bill C. was taking the 30 or 90-day chip. Mark Hammer was taking 6 months. They're still here. They're still dear friends. You know, I like Mark said, I got jumped in the middle of Alcoholics Anonymous, and I've stayed there. I love Alcoholics Anonymous. It's given me a wonderful way of life, and it is just good to be here, and it's so good to see all of you here. Many of you were here when I got here, and I still love you as much as I did when I got here. So thanks for calling on me.
Roger D., High Rolls, New Mexico, 34 years.
My name's Roger Daniels. I'm an alcoholic. Haven't had a drink today, and for that I'm truly grateful. And I stole that from Jerry McD. And the thing that keeps Alcoholics Anonymous so vital and fresh in my life today is working with newcomers, you know, carrying the message of Alcoholics Anonymous, which you people taught me. You know, my sponsor, Butcher Joe, Jerry McD, Tony, and Boston Laura, a lot of people in this room. And, you know, I'm truly grateful for that today. And I love this roundup. I've been coming to it since the beginning. Cheryl got me involved the first year, and I love it dearly, and it's part of my life, and mine and Annie's, and just grateful to be here and have the privilege to be in this meeting today. Thank you. And yesterday I had 34 years.
Chuck S., Bakersfield, 30 years.
I'm Chuck Stobie, alcoholic, and April 1st, 1985 is my sobriety date, so I get to, and my home group is the Start Your Day meeting in Bakersfield, California. Moved there about 11 years ago, but this is where I got sober, and I missed the first roundup, but I've been to every one since, so this is my 30th roundup, so I'm really glad to be here. You know, one of the question on how do I maintain my sobriety on a daily basis, how do I keep it active, and what I do is I go to meetings. I have a morning meeting that I go to 5 days a week. I have another meeting that I go to in the evening. I maintain commitments in Alcoholics Anonymous. And the most important thing I think today is when I'm in a meeting, I listen. I try to remain teachable, because that's one thing that I need to do to stay sober, is to remain teachable. So thank you for letting me share.
Jack, Long Beach, 44 years.
I'm Jack Z from Whittier, the Long Beach area. And, I'm very thankful to be part of this roundup the last several years, and to meet so many beautiful people here and elsewhere. It's just a privilege, and a privilege beyond compare. Thank you very much.
Gary G., Apple Valley, 39 years.
Hi, my name's Gary. I'm an alcoholic. And I sit in the room with you guys and, just, I'm right there again, It's great. It's absolutely great. When I got here, I knew everything. And you didn't have anything I wanted. In fact, I wondered what you wanted from me. And somebody was talking about Byron P. He took me under his wing early on because we worked together. And he used to tell me, take a newcomer home, they're fun to watch. And that's good advice. And there were two things about AA that just turned me on. Number one, I didn't hear anybody talking about God, although I knew they were. And the humor, the laughs. Man, there's joy in this room. I'm so glad to see all you guys.
Dennis Duke, Hermosa Beach, 33 years.
Dennis Duke, an alcoholic. Perfect timing because in 1 minute I'm going upstairs to give back a little bit and volunteer. And I'm going to take it all the way to the gong. The reason is the gong show is so important in my recovery. I was a secretary there. I was 1 year sober. My dad had a stroke. He was going to give me a birthday cake for my first year. He couldn't make it. He was paralyzed in the hospital in Montebello. But I kept that commitment for another year, and it helped me to keep coming back. And I too got in the car, Bill, see? I got in the car. I had a court order to get in the car. To go to 4 AA meetings, and I went to 509 South Sepulveda, Manhattan Beach, the old Delano Club, Manhattan Beach Club. JS was there. He said, welcome, Duke. I'm saving this seat for you. And I've kept coming back ever since because you stood up there at the podium and said to start believing in something that hadn't happened yet, and that was faith. And I kept coming back ever since. And what keeps my sobriety revitalized is giving back and volunteering and being involved with them. I'm still involved with the meeting that I've been going to for over 33 years. My sobriety date is March 11th, 1982. I found a higher power here, a loving God. I'm a recovering Catholic, and with due respect to any Catholics in here, I now have a loving God and not a punishing God. And I've been coming to the roundups pretty much since it started. And it's a real pleasure to be here, and I wanted to hear that gong, but I'm going to let someone else share next. Keep coming back. Thank you.
Sue Stewart, Hermosa Beach, 37 years. This is a tough one. Arlen C., LA, 25 years.
Hi, my name is Artensi, and I am an alcoholic. My sobriety date is June 20th of 1990. My sponsor is Shirley B., and my home group is the Fred Mundell Memorial Meeting in Los Angeles, and I am so grateful to be here. I didn't get a chance to look at the questions, but I think my memory is okay. What I would tell a newcomer, the same thing they told me. Make 90 meetings in 90 days. Don't drink before the meeting, don't drink during the meeting, don't drink after the meeting. Make a lot of meetings. And if you do not like what we have, we will gladly refund your misery. And the cool thing, what I found out is that I didn't know what you people had, but I knew I was miserable. What keeps my sobriety vital is sponsorship, working with the newcomer. And the lady said it best, when you see the light come on, man, that's a good feeling, you know? I also learned that it's not about the years, it is about the day, so I try to stay in the day. What I do to keep my sobriety on a daily basis, I wake up in the morning and I can say, good morning, God, instead of good God, it's morning. And then I ask God, what would you have me do today, you know? And I do read my daily reflections, the 12 and 12, and the Alcoholics Anonymous big book. And over the years, I've got a chance to be of service. And I get out of self. They told me when an alcoholic is home alone, there's a killer in the house. And I have to really be careful because I live alone. So what I do is I make sure I talk to my sponsor on a daily basis. I talk to my sponsees on a daily basis. I go to a lot of meetings, and I do have a home group. When I was new, a lady with 37 years, and I was impressed because I was only 36, said, thank you for letting me share.
All right, thank you so much. It's been an honor and a pleasure. Oh, that's great. I wasn't sure how that was going to go over, you know. But I want to thank all of you again, and I want to thank everyone who helped out to make this meeting. Very much appreciated. Okay, after a brief moment of silence, why don't we end as we opened with the Serenity Prayer.
God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Amen.
Sorry to interrupt your viewing. Caper Dave here. Just wanted to take a second to ask you to like and subscribe to my channel and let me know if you like what you're listening. I've got some very good talks here, and this one's a great one. Just curious, do you think this is better than Zoom? Tell me what you think. Okay, this is how I prepare my drone for launching. I like to do it inside the cab of my truck so I'm not standing outside in the weather. To install the joysticks for control, up and down, right and left, powered on. I have an Android phone that I use to connect it to the drone with. And it's actually controlled through the iPhone, through an app. Oops, wrong way. It's actually controlled through the iPhone, or through this Android phone, through the app. It's actually controlled through the Android phone, through an app, and you connect it through this short connection right here.
Remote control connected.
Remote control's connected. So I pull out the drone. I have to extend the legs. Long legs extended first, then the short legs. Remove the gimbal protector. Set that aside, then power it on one short burst and one long burst. I lay it down. So I have to go to calibrate. So the drone's not connected yet. It shows you here as this drone gets disconnected, even though the remote's powered on. So the drone has to establish it's connected. So I go into the app to calibration mode. First I'll calibrate the remote controller. Start calibration. Out, in, oop, out, in, up, down, and then this little wheel is to control the gimbal. So it's calibrated. Go to gimbal calibration, start calibration, and then it calibrates the gimbal. I don't know if that shows up. The gimbal's moving all over the place. Changes, you can see it on the video. And I'm calibrated to take off. It's acquired 7 satellites at the moment. There are 26 satellites up in the sky, which it has to acquire before you can take off. So it's connected. It's got enough satellites. This is white. I can go to press this little arrow button, swipe right to take off, and it would start the motors if I slid this to the right. But I'll wait till I get outside. Don't want to do it inside.